Good evening, everybody. Welcome, guys. Yeah, it's always strange, like, not having a topic or anything to talk about. Literally, 2 seconds before this timer ran out, I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I didn't know how I was going to introduce myself this evening. I didn't know what I was going to say. So nothing's changed. Welcome, guys. What's on your mind? It is 7:54 p.m. here in Florida, and I'm going to be hanging out with you guys for about an hour. We can talk Star Wars, we can talk life, we can talk food, video games, we can talk careers, we can talk schooling, and just anything under the sun, man. Or beyond the sun. Whatever's on your mind. Let's shoot the shit. Welcome, guys. Spartan, Pipeline, Christian, Darth, Thor, Freds, Indiana, Black Jack, Fat Man. What's up, Fat Man? Rodline, Nathan, General Jacob. What's up, guys? Nathan says, Star Wars Dark Forces Remaster is coming out. Are you going to buy it? It's already out. Yeah, it's been out for a while now, right? Dark Forces Remastered. Yeah, when did it come out? It came out in February. Yeah, I'm glad it exists. I'm glad the remaster exists. I probably won't end up getting it for a very long time. Until it's massively on sale. You know, I've played Dark Forces, I mean, legitimately since, I think we got our first PC in 94. So when did that game come out? I think it came out in 94. Dark Forces, Star Wars Dark Forces, there we go. 95, okay, so I played Dark Forces since it came out. And I still dabble in it from time to time. I would say it's maybe like the third or fourth most streamed game on my channel. I haven't done it in a long time, but, you know, despite there being a remaster, like, I didn't have that much of a big desire to run out and get it. I'm sure it would run way smoother on my machine, I guess. But, you know, the original Dark Forces on Steam runs really great through DOSBox. I've never had any issues with it whatsoever. So in terms of, like, where I want to put my $20 in terms of video games, a Dark Forces remaster isn't high on my list, to tell you the truth, despite loving the game. The remaster that I am looking forward to is Bounty Hunter. The Bounty Hunter remaster, whatever you want to call it, is going to be released on the PC for the first time on August 1st, and I'm super excited for that because I never played it. I never played Star Wars Bounty Hunter. I never had a GameCube. I never had a PlayStation growing up. The game came out in like 2002, right? In 2002, I was a junior in high school, and I was just playing Counter-Strike and Ultima Online. I was a PC gamer since like 94, 95, and I just, you know, the game passed me by. I never played it. So I'm really looking forward to checking that game out for the first time in my entire life. So that's definitely going to be one that I sit down and do a good, you know, a whole game stream of it. You know, let's see, how long does that take? Star Wars Bounty Hunter completion time. When focusing on the main objective, Star Wars Bounty Hunter is about 7.5 hours in length. All right. If you're a gamer that strives to see all aspects of the game, which I am not, you are likely to spend around 11.5 hours to obtain 100% completion. All right, that's not bad at all. But anyway, guys, Oscar Rodriguez, thank you so much for the first super chat and channel support of the stream. Oscar says, 4th of July family barbecue. In our case, vegan burgers. What's a vegan burger made out of? Vegan, is it like a black bean burger? Vegan burger. Oh, Beyond Meat, I guess. I guess you could do that. I've had a black bean burger. I'm not a vegan. I'm not a vegetarian. I have no desire to be. I understand why people do it. I completely get it. But I had a black bean burger. I mean, shit, this was probably 10 years ago or so. And it wasn't that bad. Me and my wife were just kind of curious, and we cooked one up one day. It wasn't bad, but you know what we said to each other? I'd rather have a burger. But yeah, Oscar, that sounds like a good time, man. I always enjoy the 4th, but I have to work. I've had to work the past few 4th of Julys. And you know, my job's weird because I work 24-hour shifts. So if you work on a holiday, if I work on July 4th, I'm not home at all on July 4th. Like, I don't get off at 6 o'clock and I get home at 7 and am able to watch fireworks. I'm gone. I'm gone from 8 in the morning to 8 in the morning, basically, the next day. So, yeah, I've worked the past few July 4ths, and they're always absolutely crazy days, crazy shifts. Last July 4th, I had multiple structure fires in a woods. It was batshit crazy. I am really hoping that this July 4th will not be that. But anyway, I appreciate that, Oscar. Hope you have fun, man. Mushroom and chickpea burgers. Interesting. Mushroom and chickpea burgers. I like chickpeas. I like hummus. So, interesting. Anyway. Vince, thank you so much for the channel support as well. Christian says... Vince says... Sorry, I read Christian in the chat. Vince says, about to hop on this Phasmophobia game with a buddy. Horror movies don't scare me at all. Horror games. Have a good stream. Quest peanut butter cups. Yeah, Quest peanut butter cups are a good little snack. I usually go with, if I want like a jolt of protein, I usually go with I wouldn't even call it a jolt of protein. It's like a meal replacement bar. MetRx. The MetRx bars are, to me, by far the best, like, they are technically like a meal replacement because like 400 calories, but to me they're just. But they have 30 grams of protein. They're by far the best. But like the Quest peanut butter cups, they're great for a little jolt, a little snack. You know, it's healthier than, I don't know, sitting there snacking on Doritos. Then you get a little bit of protein, right? But Phasmophobia, what is that? Phasmophobia. Phasmophobia is a paranormal horror game by British indie game studios Kinetic Games. The game became available in early access, blah, 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 blah. Phasmophobia is a 4-player online co-op psychological horror. Oh, cool. I've never heard of this, Oscar. Vince. Why can't I get anybody's name right? I look over at the chat, I see the first name, and I just fucking say it. Yeah, I have never heard of this, Vince. Phasmophobia is a 4-player online co-op psychological horror game. Paranormal activity is arising. Little over 500,000 reviews, and it's overwhelmingly positive. And I've never heard of it. That is crazy. That sounds fun. Maybe I'll get something like this for around Halloween. Yeah, and I'm with you, Vince. Like horror movies and paranormal stuff, like paranormal movies and like spooky stuff like that does nothing for me. Yeah, like I see it as really goofy, and maybe it's because I am an absolute non-believer in that bullshit. And you know, maybe if I believed in demons and all that hocus pocus, maybe it would like be spooky for me to sit down on the couch and watch like a vase fly across my TV screen. But I don't. So all those kind of movies, and even like the reality TV shows where they hunt for ghosts, they're all so dumb to me that I can appreciate like the movies and the shows and stuff like that. Not the reality shows, but like the movies and like the spooky shows from an artistic point of view and like a suspense point of view. I get that, but like looking at it and getting scared by it, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But games on the other hand, there was a game called what was it called? It was on Game Pass for a while. I want to say it was started with an L. I guess I could do some Googling, but let's see. Best scary video games. Oh my gosh, this is Layers of Fear. Yeah, Layers of Fear. I think that's what I played. Layers of Fear. Yeah, Layers of Fear. It was on Game Pass a while ago. I don't know if it's still on there. But like I fired it up, I played it on my couch, I had headphones in, and like there's something about like sitting there with the control and having control of this character and this point of view that completely changes the dynamic. And like you hear a little bump in your headphones and you're like, was that in my fucking living room? Hold on, give me a second. Is that in my fucking living room? No, it was in my video game. And you get like chills when you're playing these games. I completely get it. Movies, like you, do nothing for me. But yeah. Yeah, you're in the driver's seat. You're experiencing it first person, right? So yeah. But anyway. I appreciate that, Vince. Cheers, man. General Jacob, I've played the first Dead Space. I enjoyed it. I played it when it first came out. I've never played any of the sequels. But, yeah, I'd like to revisit that one day. Phasmophobia. I generally have zero desire to check this kind of stuff out. But the fact that it's 4-player online co-op is the only thing that's kind of making me want to look into it more. What's up, Ian? Finn says, I don't know why, but I think a Star Wars horror game would actually be interesting. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm up for any type of Star Wars project. Like, why not, right? Like, if there is a game developer that wants to pursue a more, I don't know, a more spooky Star Wars tale. I don't know how they would go about that, but I would be all for it. Like, any genre that wants to get, because to me, like Star Wars, people always describe it as space fantasy, science fiction, right? But I think it's beyond. I think it's more than that. Especially if you want the franchise to kind of branch out and go beyond kind of repeating what we've seen before. Like, how many times are we going to see these same goddamn characters, these same eras? If you want the franchise to kind of grow beyond itself, then it would be kind of interesting for it to tackle other genres. Sure, a horror video game. Why not? I have no idea how they would do it. I don't know if I would honestly like it. But I would love for them to kind of push the boundaries and make something like that. It'd be cool. I have no idea how it would be done, but but yeah. Anyway, Nathan Branch. What is your Firefighter, Nathan. Oscar Rodriguez. The campaign for Call of Duty Black Ops unnerved me at 15, like a Michael Bay directed Jacob's Ladder. The game literally put you in the mind of a crazy man. Have I played that, Oscar? A Call of Duty Black Ops. Is this the one? Hold on. Is this the one that starts out in Cuba? Yeah, is this the one that starts out in Cuba? Gameplay. Campaign. Black. Okay, it is the one that starts out in Cuba. It's funny that you bring this up, Oscar. This Call of Duty Black Ops is the last Call of Duty game I've played. That's the last Call of Duty game I played. That came out in 2010. I remember playing this because I bought it on deployment. And I had my gaming laptop with me on the ship. And I bought it. And when it came out. And I brought it with me on deployment. And I played it. And that is the last Call of Duty game that I've played. I remember enjoying it. I don't really... I never touched the multiplayer or anything like that. I don't know if it's still live. Yeah, like for me... Call of Duty, Oscar, is... I've never really been into the multiplayer side of Call of Duty. For whatever, maybe it's too like arcadey for me, or too. I prefer games like Hell Let Loose or Postscriptum, which is now called Squad 44, or games like honestly even like PUBG. I'd rather play games like that are a little more realistic, I guess, than Call of Duty games in terms of multiplayer. Now, I did enjoy, I haven't played a Call of Duty game since 2010. I do enjoy the single player aspects of them because I did enjoy them rather. Wait, wasn't there a Call of Duty Airborne? Call of Duty Airborne. No, Medal of Honor Airborne. Okay. Oh, that came out even before this, so no. All right, yeah, Call of Duty Black Ops is the last Call of Duty game that I played. But yeah, I always enjoyed the single-player campaigns of those games. Never really got into the multiplayer. Like way back in the day I did when the first Call of Duty games came out. But yeah, I don't know. But anyway, man, I appreciate that. Alex Dunn. And Transylvestite. Alex Dunn and Transylvestite. Appreciate the channel support here, guys. Alex Dunn says, "Hey, Greedo, started exercising outside of mandatory PT and need of a running app. Any recommendations?" I don't have a running app, Alex. Lately, I mean, forever, I just literally have my Garmin Forerunner, my watch. And there's a Garmin app, and I know my route in my neighborhood, and I just run my 4 miles, and I time it, and then I hit stopwatch, and then boom, it maps it. You know what I mean? Like that. I just whatever. That's really the only app that I've ever used. The app that came with my Garmin watch. Other than that, in all honesty, man, I don't know what else you would need in terms of a running app. This thing tells me my average pace, my mileage pace per mile. It tells me elevation. It tells me, it shows me a map of when I ran the fastest and the slowest, a hot and cold area. Um, it shows my heart rate basically every second that I want it to. It shows every metric that I would want in terms of, I don't know what else I would need really. Now I know there's I used to, this was, oh shit, we were in our old house. This was like 2015 maybe? 2014, 2015. There was a running game that I used to have. And I bet there's a lot of things like this that exist now, but I haven't looked at them, or I haven't looked into it in like a decade. But there was a zombie running app where in your headphones you would hear like zombies off in the distance, and they would start, it would like either be, in your left headphone or your right headphone, or it would sound like it was in front or behind you, and you'd have to run away from them. Or I don't think it was actually directional, it was more like your pace. Obviously they don't want you to like hook left if you hear a zombie in your right headphone, because you might run into goddamn traffic, right? But I think it was just all based off pace. So like if you heard a zombie, you started running a little faster and you would outrun the zombie, right? I don't know what that was called, but I remember playing that a few times when I was running like a decade ago. But I haven't used anything like that in a long time. My goal right now is 5 miles in under 40 confidently. Oh, you can do that for sure. That I will say that my normal runs are 4 miles when I go out and run, which is usually it used to be every day. I used to wake up at 5 in the morning and I would run 4 miles like every single day. That's how I dropped like 6 years ago. That's how I dropped 50 pounds. I used to be like I used to be a big boy. I'm 190 now. I'm 6'2", 190. I used to be almost 260 pounds. I used to be a big boy. But I just started running, man. Eating a little healthier, but mostly just all through exercise. Like I'm in way better shape now at the age of 38 than I was when I was like fucking 22. But so like I will say, Alex, that is an 8 minute mile pace. That's doable. That's usually what I run my 4 miles in. 8 minutes. It's kind of funny. Like I start out at an 8:30 pace, and then the longer I go, I don't know if I just get warmed up, but I find that my pace increases the longer I run. My 2 mile run is 14 minutes. Just never ran a 5 mile before. Oh, dude, if you can do 2, you can do 5. That's always been my thing. Like I used to run like 1 mile and I'd be like, if I can do 1, I can do 2. And then eventually I was like, you shithead, if you can do 2, you can do 3. What the fuck are you doing, man? If you can do 3, you can do 4. And now I was like 4 is a sweet spot. 4 miles, knock it out really quick. 4 miles, 32 minutes roughly, just be done with it. But I enjoy it. It's like, I enjoy all forms of exercise. Like at the station, we always do these circuit strength training things. Sometimes we work out in full bunker gear. And I always hop on the treadmill every shift. I do my 4 miles on a treadmill every single shift. It's the one exercise that I like enjoy. I look forward to it, But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, Alex. You can do it. Absolutely. Just go out and do it, man. Do it to it. The way I've always looked at it, like if your goal is 5 miles in 40 minutes, oh, my wife just texted me. She wants me to she's talking about our daughter. She's doing bedtime right now. I guess my daughter said she wants me to text you to tell you to leave a note under her door in the morning. I always do that. Like the mornings that I have to go to work, I always like slip a little note or a drawing under her door. So, you know, obviously I leave before she wakes up in the morning. So I slip a little note under there or a drawing. But tomorrow I don't have to work. I guess she wants me to do that even on my no work days, right? But yeah, I've always viewed it, Alex, like, you go run a mile. Even if it takes you like 12 minutes, who gives a shit? Just knock it out, man. It's 12 minutes of your day. What the fuck else are you gonna do? You know, for your health, for the most important muscle in your body, your heart. You know what I mean? Even if it takes you 15 minutes, who gives a shit? You accomplished a mile. And eventually you'll find that your body, you know, acclimates and gets better and better and better. And before you know it, you're running a 9-minute mile. Before you know it, you're running an 8-minute mile. Your body just, you know, you just keep it up, you know. But I don't have to tell you that. I love working for Uncle Sam. Lets me know just who I am. Transylvestite, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support as well. You said, do you ever try the Metroid series? If you're into Alien or Aliens, it might be up your alley, especially the Prime trilogy. Transylvestite, I've never played, let's see. Metroid. I've never, dude, honestly, I don't think I've ever played a Metroid game. I know what they look like. I know what they sound like, I feel like. But I honestly don't know if I've ever played them. Like, when's the last Metroid game that was made? If you're into Alien or Aliens, it might be up your alley, especially the Prime trilogy. Yeah, so how many games are there, man? Let's see. Oh my god, there's way more games than I knew there were. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Or 16, one of them's remastered. That's a lot. I had no idea. Huh. Yeah, I don't really know anything about Metroid, in all honesty. And I'm looking at screenshots of various games. And I can tell you, like, none of them, I mean, they look familiar in a vague way, but not in the familiar sense of me actually ever playing them, getting hands-on, you know? I didn't realize they made first-person Metroid games, but that seems to be the norm now. Interesting. When I think of Metroid, I think of the side-scrollers. And it's interesting to me that I never played these because it's kind of like of my generation, you know? I was born in I was born in 86. And a lot of these games came out in the 90s. Or the early 2000s even. I guess really the only one that I would have played is Super Metroid. I mean, I had an original Nintendo, but I never played that, the original Metroid game. Super Metroid came out in 94. I was still playing my Super Nintendo, but I never played that. And then Metroid Fusion came out in 2002 on the Game Boy. I never had a Game Boy. And by 2002, I was already primarily a PC gamer, you know. Yeah, interesting. Maybe I'll have to check them out. I have a Switch. I'm assuming a lot of them are ported over from older consoles to the Switch, you know. But, yeah, anyway. I appreciate that there, Transylvestite. General Jacob, but you see, instead of running, you could be hitting the bench or squat rack. I do that too, but my main focus is cardio. I find that especially in my job, cardio is, you'll have the biggest motherfuckers out there who can bench and deadlift a goddamn tank, but on a fire, they're winded after 5 minutes. I think cardio is the most important thing for my job. And also I enjoy it, you know. But I still do a lot of strength stuff, but it's more like circuit training, like almost like CrossFit in a way, you know. But yeah, anyway. Can't Fake the Funk DJ, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Can't Fake says 5 mile under 40 minutes is Ranger standard. Greedo, nice to hear you again in sorry. Let me read that again. Can't Fake. 5 miles in under 40 minutes is Ranger standard. There you go. Nice to hear you again, and man, I'm back in the military, by the way. Got some new goals I want to tackle while young. Nice, man. Did you go reserves, or are you back on active duty? Good on you. I regret, I mean, well, I got, you know, everything, I'm not a believer that everything happens for a reason at all. But, you know, I'm not one to regret or like think, I should have done it this way, I should have done that way, because, you know, things would not be the way they are today. Things are pretty good. But I, in a very slight way, I do regret not staying in, because I would only have 3 years left until retirement if I would have stayed in, which is crazy to me. 3 years from now is the 20th anniversary of me going to boot camp. That is insane. That doesn't make sense to me. That does not compute. So if I would have stayed in, I would only have 3 more years until retirement. That's ridiculous. But hey, it is what it is. You know, I enjoyed the past 20 years. I think my life was probably better over the past 20 years than by getting out than if I would have stayed in, you know. And I got a good career now. I wouldn't change anything, but it's just kind of crazy to think about. Like I could retire at the age of 41 with a pretty solid pension. But yeah. Anyway, good on you, man. What are some of your goals? If you don't want to get too personal, I understand, but what made you want to get back in? I know there's a lot of job security in it, and whatnot. Well, I don't know if that's the case anymore. I know they were pushing a lot of people out a few years ago. Shit, it's probably been 10 years now. There was like early separations, a lot of early separations going on. But good on you, man. I appreciate what you're doing. Active. You went active. Back into active duty. Yeah, curious what made you want to get in. Or back in, rather. Like, when I was in, I was already like, oh, I'm doing my 4 and I'm getting out. There was no question about me re-enlisting. I had no desire to re-enlist. I had fun. It was a good time and it was a good experience, and I'm glad I got to see a little bit of the world, you know. Great people. Smartest people I've ever met was in the military, and the dumbest people I've ever met was in the military. That's life, right? But anyway, I appreciate that. Can't Fake the Funk. Cheers, man. I'm going to keep an eye on the chat there. Christian said, Christian, thank you for the super chat and channel support as well. Christian says, what is your favorite beer right now? I don't really like drinking myself, but my oldest brother brews at a craft place in, is that St. Louis? Seattle? St. Louis. And it's pretty neat. Nice. That's awesome. So I like to drink a lot of local beer. Jacksonville has some really great breweries. St. Augustine has some really great breweries. My favorite kind of go to right now. If I'm at the grocery store and I usually go with brown ales. There's a brewery in Jacksonville called Bold City Brewery, and they brew a really good brown ale. It's kind of their staple beer. And, if I can't really decide what else to get, I usually go with that. I also like a lot of, oh my God, I can picture the label. What is it called? It's got a bear. Oh my God, I can't believe I can't remember the name. I get it all the time. Anderson Valley. Anderson Valley makes really good gozas and sours and stuff like that. Since it's summer, I like a good goza. Right now, I'm actually sipping on a local beer from a brewery called Veterans United. It's in Jacksonville. Not too far from my house. It's a brown ale called Scout Dog. But yeah, I usually I don't have a favorite Christian. It's whatever I'm in the mood for, but a lot of the times I'm in the mood for a stout or a brown ale. But right now, it's 100,000 degrees in Florida. So, I do enjoy a good sour. There's a brewery in St. Augustine called Bog Brewing, and they have a daddle pepper. It's a daddle pepper lager. It's kind of gimmicky, but I'm telling you, man, like in the summer, it's a spicy beer. A daddle pepper is a lot hotter than a jalapeno pepper, and they brew this lager with daddle peppers. And I'm telling you, it might sound weird. It is weird. It's a gimmick. But in the summer, it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice to have a daddle pepper beer, a little spice in the back of your throat, a little tingle, St. Louis. Nice, Christian. That's fun. I've always wanted to attempt. I don't have the patience to trial and error brewing my own beer. I've tried it once. I've tried to brew my own beer once. I got so excited to make my own beer. I bought a beer brewing kit. I even bought empty bottles, and I made stickers and all sorts of stuff for my bottles. The labels were awesome. Some of you guys who have been following the channel for 12 years might even remember the look of it or the name of the beer. It was called Aunt Beru's Burnt Brown, and on the label, it had Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen, a drawing that I did, all charred up in flames. And I attempted to make a brown ale with a little bit of smokiness to it. And guess what it tasted like? Tasted like shit. So I gave up on that quick. The labels were sweet, though. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, Christian. Can't Fake says, attend some Army schools, try to get in a nursing program for sure, and spend some time working as an officer maybe. Sorry for late text and stuff while listening. Oh, of course, man. Yeah, that's great. Did you go? Were you previously an officer or enlisted? Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, get into nursing. That's definitely a good field. And if you want to, man, the medic route is great. Or even just EMT. EMT, fire rescue, it's great. I like the life. I don't know if I would like the nursing life, but the fire rescue life is great. It's it's like just a hang, at the station and bullshitting until the tones go off, Prior enlisted. Okay, nice. Got out in 2014. Gotcha. I know we've talked about this before, but yeah. I'd love those to get those labels right there. Yeah, Christian, if you scroll back a decade, you'll probably find those beer labels on Instagram. I'm sure I posted them. This was probably in 2013, 2014, maybe 2012. I really don't. It's some block of time. It was early in the channel's existence. So it might have been 2011, 2012. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah. Oscar Rodriguez, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Doesn't the other world from Amnesia Rebirth look like Exegol? I'm sure a modder could make a spooky Star Wars fan game and Amnesia custom stories. Yeah, I never realized. Maybe it was you, Oscar, that brought it up a while ago. That so many Amnesia games are like just built using the Amnesia engine. And a lot of the popular games are just kind of like people making games within a game engine that, you know, it's kind of neat. That's neat. I never knew that. Let's see. Do you think that exists? Star Wars Amnesia game. Galactic Amnesia. Nope, that's not what that's about. I would think so. I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming that I'm assuming that you can heavily mod like skins and stuff like that in Amnesia, right? So I don't see why not. I mean, somebody modded the entire Starfield game to be a Star Wars game, right? So I'm assuming something like that could actually absolutely be kind of tailored towards a Star Wars look, at least, you know. Yeah, that's a cool idea. Yeah, that's a cool idea. I like that. I don't know how you would do a spooky Star Wars game, though, Oscar. Like, ah, man. Every idea that pops into my head is just kind of stupid. I don't know. Somebody could do it right. Somebody could do it right. But I don't know how you would make like kind of a spooky Star Wars game that isn't over the top and. I mean, you could do it. It doesn't have to be all serious, right? But like, even like the Death Trooper or the like the Zombie Trooper thing would kind of be cool as a video game, you know. What's up, Palp? That one Ewok game mode in Battlefront 2. Yeah, I played that a couple times. It wasn't my thing, you know, but I'm glad it exists. Do people still play it? I don't know. Yeah, Geonosian Zombies. Yeah, it was a Clone Wars arc, wasn't it? If I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, you can do that. Do a survival horror Order 66 game as a teenage Padawan. There you go, Fat Man. That's a fun idea. I like that. I like that. I don't know how you would do that. What would be the horror aspect? You just clone troopers. Mindlessly hunting you. I don't know what would. I don't know what would make that like spooky. But yeah. Oh, man. So I don't have to work tomorrow. I have to work on the 4th. So tonight, I'm going to stay up late and I'm going to play some more Fallout 76. Which I've been heavily into for the past, well, since April, really. I got the game, I got 76 when it first came out, and I played it a little bit, maybe like a month at the most, and you know, I enjoyed it for what it is, but the game has gotten so much better over the past 5 years or so that it's been out, and I'm just hooked, man. It's so fun. Yeah, I've been enjoying that. Like, that's kind of my time, you know. I work every third day, 24-hour shifts. So basically every day that I work is a weekend. I have the next 2 days off. And I always stay up late and just have a couple hours to myself where I play a video game. And like literally since April, it's been Fallout 76. It's fun, man. Yeah, Ian. Yeah. Super busy. Last 4th was insane. I think we ran... I want to say we ran 18 calls in a 24-hour period on last July 4th. Which just means basically every hour you're running a call, or more than that, you know. We had multiple fires. We had, yeah, it was last July 4th was the craziest day I've had on the job. And I'm hoping this July 4th is not. Yeah, pal, been doing that for a few years now. Yeah, it's crazy. Alien vs. VR game, but it's Darth Vader. Alien VR game? Oh, wait, hold on. Did they turn that Alien Isolation game into VR? I guess that makes sense. Or is there a different one? Let's see. Alien VR? Alien Dark Descent? Is that what it is? No. It must be Alien Isolation. That is such a cool idea to turn that into VR. Oh my god. I loved that game, dude. I usually don't get into single player games that much, but man. Alien Isolation, dude, was like... Wow, that's almost 10 years old? Shit. Alien Isolation was a fun one. And spooky. That's my kind of, like, scary, tense game, you know? Ah, that was great. Yeah, pal. If you go on my Twitter, pal, and you look at my header, my like header image, you'll see the inside of my helmet. I got a little Grogu sitting in a firefighter helmet sticker on my helmet. That's my Twitter header image. Man, now I want to install Alien Isolation again. I haven't played it since... Wow, I have not played it since May 1st, 2015. That's the last time that I played it. I have 38 out of 50 achievements unlocked. Oh man, when did this come out? 2014. Wait, it is almost 10 years old. That's wild. Huh. Can I sort? Let's see. Sort by recent activity. Okay. My most recent game is Fallout 76. And then it goes Pinball FX. Pinball FX 3. Because my daughter likes to play the pinball games. And then it goes My Little Pony, A Maritime Bay Adventure. Because my daughter likes to play My Little Pony, A Maritime Bay Adventure. Then it goes Portal, because I wanted my daughter to try Portal. She couldn't really wrap her head around it yet. She's 6. The Last of Us Part 1, Star Wars, The Old Republic, PUBG, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, The Saboteur. I don't remember what the fuck that is. Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri. I think I just installed that because I got a bunch of these games for free, like Command and Conquer collection. Star Trek Online, New World, Enshrouded. Shroud of the Avatar, because I just wanted to see how terrible that game was. It's very bad. Squad 44, Black Mesa, Hogwarts Legacy, Call of Duty, Counter-Strike 2, Hell Let Loose, The Ships, single player, just because I wanted to see what that was all about again, because I enjoyed it when it first came out. Nobody probably knows what The Ship is. It was fun when it first came out for about a week. Sons of the Forest, Starship Troopers Extermination, Jedi Survivor, Star Wars Rogue Squadron 3D, Left 4 Dead 2, and then, yeah, these are just the... What's my, like, last played game? Or, Fistful of Frags. This can't be correct. So, Life is Feudal. I played in 2014. No recorded activity. Dude, that is funny. I have 57 games on Steam that have no recorded activity. How is that possible? So it said, here's the contradiction. It says no recorded activity on Rift, the MMO Rift. But when I click on it, it says I've played 95 hours of Rift, but there's no recorded activity. Okay. That's funny. That's all this. And there's so many games here, like Day of Defeat. It says I have no recorded activity, and dude, I played hundreds of hours of that back in the day. Even Red Orchestra, yeah. Weird. BioShock Infinite, I beat that game. It says no recorded activity. I have 10.2 hours in it. Strange. Oh well. Day of Defeat Source. Oh, that was a fun game. Anyway. Steam sales going on right now. Summer sale. I don't need to buy anything because I still haven't beaten Hogwarts Legacy. I still haven't beaten Jedi Survivor. Still haven't beaten a lot of games. And I'm just kind of obsessed with 76 right now since April. So there's really nothing else on my radar that I want to play. I mean, honestly, there's games like The New Division that's going to be coming out. I don't know when that's coming out. I'm definitely going to get that. I like those games. But man, there's really nothing else on the horizon. Oh, Fallout 76 is only $10 right now on Steam. I didn't know that. It's a fun game, man. Like, I know a lot of people used to poo-poo it, but like, dude, if you like Fallout and multiplayer games and tongue-in-cheek silliness, and it's a great game, man. For $10, yeah, do it. Absolutely. $10? I've sunk so many hours into this game. Fallout 76, I have 248 hours in. It's fun, man. Yeah, Palp. I've beat Red Dead. Yeah. It took me a long time to beat it. Like, I played it like the moment it came out, and I think I beat it in 2022. Yeah, 2022. It took me like 4 years to beat that game, just because. When did it come out? Let's see. Yeah, okay, so 2018. It took me about 4 years to beat it, and that's not because, you know, anything against the game. That's just because when it comes to single player games, I'm very flaky with single player games. I will go, like, Red Dead is one of the best. It's probably my favorite single player game of all time. It's incredible. But I would go like 6-7 months without touching it. And then I would just jump in and play it for like a solid month straight. But yeah, it took me 4 years to beat it. And that's just because my on and off nature with single player games. And legitimately the only reason that I beat it one day was because I got COVID back in 2022. And I was off work for a week. Because of that, I just give you a week off. And I literally sat in my bed with my Xbox, trying to isolate myself from my wife and my daughter for a week, which I shouldn't have done that. I should have just gone up and given them a big hug and gotten it over with, because like they ended up getting it anyway, despite our best efforts to like stay isolated and shit. Looking back, it was stupid. But I just sat in bed and played a week's worth of Red Dead and just beat the game. Well, yeah. Anyway. Ian, too good. Thank you so much for the super chat. Final super chat and channel support before I have to hop off here. Ian says, I gotta head out. I had no idea you were a firefighter. Thanks for doing what you do, both the firefighting and the YouTube stuff. Oh, cheers, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, the YouTube has always just been a fun little, you know, creative outlet that I sometimes hop in and out of, and you know, I don't take it all too serious. It's just literally a fun place where I get to come and shoot the shit with you guys and occasionally upload a video every few months, you know. That's kind of how it's always been. I used to be way more active when I didn't have obligations back in the day, but over the past few years, you know, things change, and yeah, so YouTube is I've always said, I don't know if you've ever heard me say this, but I've always said, like, I feel like I have a healthy relationship with YouTube, you know? You know, I have a career, I have a family, and the idea of hopping on YouTube and the idea of needing to make something in order to have a livelihood, and I know people do it all the time. That's great. That's, you know, I hope they're happy with it, but for me, that sounds miserable. I would feel like I needed to put stuff out that maybe I was a little disingenuous of. I would feel like I just needed to put something out just for the sake of putting something out. You know what I mean? It's definitely not for me. This is more of a fun, creative, from time to time outlet. But yeah, man, I appreciate that, Ian. Oh shit, what happened to the chat? What did I just do to the chat? Okay, I have no chat anymore. What did I refresh chat? There we go. Okay. But yeah, I appreciate that, Ian. Cheers, man. Yeah. It's the best job in the world. It's fun. I work with a great group of dudes. Obviously, you see some horrible shit, but that's how it is. Anyway, I appreciate that, Aaron. Cheers, man. Thank you for the your first super chat on the channel. Thanks, dude. But all right, guys, this was fun, man. A little Tuesday evening live stream. Tomorrow I will not be doing anything on the channel. I work Thursday the 4th. Friday and Saturday I probably won't be doing anything on the channel. Yeah. I'm trying to think. If I do something on the channel, it'll be a stream Saturday night, but I'm not promising anything. I work Thursday, I work Sunday. If you don't see me the rest of the week, you might see me on Monday night. So, all right, guys, enjoy the rest of your morning, your afternoon, your evening, wherever you are on planet Earth. And I will catch you all on the flip side. To everybody who super chatted this evening, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. All right, guys. See ya.